I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to take care of a little something. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, get in the car, went and raced, having fun. Alright, anyway, so, that lasted for a while. Had a pretty good time with that. And, things went by the wayside with my ex-wife. And, we split up. And I moved away. Wound up going out to Fort Smith area. Met this other girl. And we, a little bit later on, we decided to get married. So, whatever, anyway. So now I'm living in, at this time, living in Fort Smith. And I started driving a 1-ton dually with a 35-foot gooseneck behind it, delivering, new steel and stuff to the customers, whatever. It was just a little local steel shop, and I had to get a CDL with it because the gross vehicle weight, and so that's how I got my CDL. Never been in a truck, whatever. I didn't go to school or nothing. I just went up to the DMV, got a booklet, studied it, went online, took a few, practice tests, as they say, and went back up there and took my computer test. Well, I passed it, and the guy I was working for, his brother owned the scrapyard in town. So he did new steel sales. His brother took the steel back in as scrap metal. Pretty cool little family deal anyway. And so he talked, Robert, my boss, talked to his brother, asked him if we could, borrow a truck for me to take my test in. So he said, sure, no problem. So I went down there. I went out with one of his guys, 2 days just to kind of get the feel of stuff or whatever. And, well, we went and took the test. I failed the first time because when I was doing my pre-trip, I used the wrong wording. Instead of using the correct words of making sure that my catwalk is secure, nothing's broke loose or, destroyed, whatever, however it was at that time. I would just say, I want to check, make sure my catwalk is good. I said the word good too many. I said it like 5 times. After the 5th time, he cut me off. He said, that's it, we're done. I was like, what's the deal? And he told me what was going on. Excuse me. He told me what was going on. I said, all right, cool. So I had to wait 30 days to schedule another one. Went back up there and got through the pre-trip just fine this time. And I asked him, I said, well, do I have to use the clutch or can I float the gears? He said, well, that's 1 point if you don't use your clutch. I said, is that every time or just 1 point period? He said, it's 1 point if you don't use your clutch. I said, gotcha. Well, so here I go. We were out there taking the test, and now mind you, all I know about floating gears is what I watched on YouTube. YouTube's a hell of a drug when you're trying to learn something. Anyway, so we did the test. Yeah, it was interesting, but I passed. Got back, the guy that took me down there, he's like, well, how'd he do? Did he pass? The instructor said, yeah, he passed. He said, you're probably going to have to stop by a transmission shop, get your new training put in there, but yeah, he passed. Needless to say, I was grinding the shit out of them damn gears. And obviously, experience teaches you otherwise. But so I have my CDL, and I stayed there with Robert for a good 6-7 months after that. And well, the money was just getting tight. You know, I had to make more money. And I told Robert, and he goes, man, I understand. He said, you know, unfortunately, I can't afford to pay this position any more than that. And he said, but I totally understand. He said, I'm not mad at all. I said, well, I'll give you a good month and a half to get somebody in here, 2 months, whatever, to get somebody in here, get them trained, show them where all the customers are and all that good business. I said, you know, but then after that, I'm going to go. No problem. He said, I appreciate that, and I'll get somebody in here. We'll get to working on that. All right, cool. And he did. And I stayed there, trained the guy, and it was time to go. Well, a job opening came up in town, running a day cab, pulling a Conestoga trailer for another metal company. But this one was a whole lot bigger than what Robert was. Anyway, and it was through Ryder Integrated Logistics. Well, I was pulling a Conestoga trailer. I might have just said that. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. I went and interviewed with the guy, and I told him, I was like, sir, I'm gonna tell you right now. I said, if I get this job, this will be the first actual truck driving job I've ever had. He said, well, so let me ask you this. He said, did y'all have a truck and trailer available to you at your last job? I said, yes, sir. He said, was it your job to drive it if you had to? I said, well, yes, sir. He said, did you work there 9 months or more? I said, yes, sir. He said, that's all I need. He said, we'll work out the rest. All right, cool. Well, I hired on, and he said, you know, I'm gonna put you with Steve. That's what I'm gonna call him because I don't remember his name. So I'm gonna put you with Steve for, you know, a couple of weeks and get you comfortable. All right, that's fine. So we go out, you know, one day, everything's cool. Second day, we go out, everything's cool. Come back in, and you know, I asked him, I said, okay, so what are we doing tomorrow? He said, well, you're going out by Tennessee line.
In 10 miles, take exit 147A to State Highway 3 East and I-44 West toward Dallas.
Sorry about that. Anyway, kind of threw me all off track there. Brain farted now. Anyway, he said you're going out to Tennessee, to the Tennessee line border to meet another driver and swap trailers and come back. All right, cool, no problem. What time's Steve getting here? I said, oh no, you're going by yourself. I'm like, excuse me? I said, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. Mind you, 2 days in. That makes a total of 4 days I've been in the truck now. And, all right, cool, let's do this. And so, needless to say, yes, I was nervous. I was nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But I did it, went out there, come back, no problems. Got back, he's like, well, did you tear anything up? No, sir. Did you kill anybody? No, sir. And, sorry, little kid was pumping his fist there, so I had to get in the horns. And, anyway, and yes, that does make me laugh. It makes me smile. I like it as much as they do. You're not a real trucker if you don't. Anyway, so, and that was it. I was on my own from there on out. Drove with them for 4 years before they started getting funny with my money, as they say. And so I left that, went out to the patch, as they call it, out to the oil field, running pneumatics. Again, didn't know shit about it. But YouTube, once again, hell of a drug. Went to YouTube, got the gist of it, you know, got the skinny on how to do stuff, the basics, and so I started running pneumatic. Well, they run. That's when the ELDs were first coming into mandate back in, what was it, 16, something like that. And so they were switching over to ELDs. We were on paper running our asses off out in the field. And yeah, I mean, you know, I go 2 or 3 days straight before it actually shut down for a while. I mean, because if you know anything about oil field, you get a load and 9 out of 10 times you're going to go to a staging area and sit there for a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours. Well, that's when I go to sleep. I go catch me 2 or 3 hours. Sometimes it's 8 hours. You never knew. If the well shut down for whatever reason, you know, you were sitting there. So that's how I slept. That's how I did my running. Until I got about 2 or 3 days in, and then I'd actually take a full 10-hour break off. You know, break the coloring book out, make it look right, and go on about your business. So, but when the LDs came in, all I saw was that I was going to be getting my runs cut down. Okay, I wasn't going to be making as many runs. Well, they want you to be out 3 weeks at a time and then go home for a week. Well, I wasn't going to sit out there for just 1 run a day. So that's where I met up with Hammer. If you remember him, Hammer Down, he had a truck, and him and I got to talking, and needless to say, I started driving for him. Good dude. You know, I don't know how you feel about him, but he's a good dude, man. I liked him. He's a good kid. And hell, we had a lot going on at that time. So we hooked up. We hammered out a deal, as they say, and started driving with him, driving for him. Got about a year into that. Well, circumstances, you know, beyond our controls happened, and we had to, you know, he had to go his way, I had to go mine. Nothing between him and I. That's just the way the business worked out to where we was at. And so there was a guy back in Arkansas that was looking for a driver, talking about how he could, you know, put you in a truck, sell you a truck, no money down or, you know, any of that, just start running it, start paying it. And I was looking for a truck at that time, and I was like, hell, that's a hell of a deal. That's just right up my alley. And of course, one of their main lanes was I-40. And like I said, I live Fort Smith, which is right on I-40, right on the border there of Oklahoma and Arkansas. So I was like, hell yeah, that'll work out great. Get by the house more often, yada yada. So I thought. Well, I started pulling for him, running pneumatic again. Only this time it wasn't out in the oil field. It was more specialized, where we would, you know, go to refineries with catalyst, or, you know, lime out of the lime mines, to water treatment plants, or refineries use it as well. Hauling salt to feed mills, roofing granules to, you know, to places that make the shingles for your house. Just all kinds of stuff. Bulk pneumatic, dry bulk pneumatic. Anyway, and you know, so I hired on with the guy, and I was driving one of these little old pissant trucks while they finished supposedly putting a new motor that was just freshly rebuilt in the truck that I was supposed to buy. And I mean, that went on and went on and on and on and on and on and on, and just kept dragging. So finally, I got tired of it. So I got my credit. Obviously, it wasn't very well, because I failed to mention at the beginning of this, before I got into driving.
In 2 miles, take exit 147A onto State Highway 3 East and I-44 West toward Dallas.
Once again, sorry. Matter of fact, I need to shut that off. No, I'll just turn this down. How's that? All right, anyway. I'm on my way from Moreland, Oklahoma to Jacksonville, Florida. But I got to run down through Dallas first and get my PTO worked on. So, anyway. Where's that? Oh, yeah. Before getting into trucking, I hung sheetrock for about 30 years. Well, if you know anything about construction, That's the way it goes. You know, it's feast or famine. And I wasn't very smart with my stuff. Anyway, got my credit jacked up. So, which is why this other guy's deal. Oh, I want y'all to hear something. Hold on, ready? Y'all love that? I love that. Anyway, I got my credit, jacked up, so I had to clean it up. And so I got my credit cleaned up. Sorry, I'm brain farting again. Got my credit cleaned up, got my money right, bought my own truck. It was a nice truck. It was a 02 W900. Pretty truck, very pretty truck. Paid too much for it, sure, but it was mine. It's what I wanted. Run the truck for about 2.5 months. Well, I'm going up through Arkansas, a little 2-lane highway, going up through the mountains up there, coming around this S-curve. As soon as I come out of this S-curve, drop over the hill. As soon as I come over that hill, ain't none but brake lights. Been raining. I'm sitting about 79.8, okay, almost maxed out. As soon as I drop over that hill, like I said, none but brake lights. So I freak out. Oh shit. Tried to slow down, it wasn't gonna happen. My wheels just locked up. So the only thing I knew to do was I wasn't gonna hit nobody. I wasn't gonna go into the right-hand lane, or in the oncoming lane, and not right-hand lane, but anyway, in the oncoming lane, the only thing I knew to do was take a right turn. I went through a culvert, across an entranceway to a little convenience store that was there, through their sign, down an embankment, and into some trees. Totaled my truck out, totaled the trailer out, just destroyed me. But God was with me, because nobody got hurt. I didn't get hurt. And, all that got hurt was my truck, the company trailer, and the store sign. But the bad part about it is this was due to some one-lane construction they had at the bottom of this hill. They had one lane shut off doing some bridge work. No warning signs for this construction. And the people around there, they were all saying, well, we're waiting for this to happen, because we're surprised that hadn't happened before now. The guy whose field I landed in, he took the state patrol, took the officer back up 412 there for quite a ways, turned around and came back, and he showed him that there's no warning signs whatsoever for this construction. So luckily the officer found me not at fault. No issues, no citations, no nothing. I just tore the shit up. And so insurance paid off on my truck and the few things I had done to it, because like I said, I had receipts and I just had everything. Just had the truck, just bought it 2.5 months prior. So I'd already had stacks on it, already had chrome panels, already had a blower put on it. Hell, the blower itself was, I'm bald by the way, the blower itself was $10,500, so they paid everything. Bottom line is I came out maybe about $5,000 short. And so I was like, all right, that's fine. I wasn't trying to sue nobody. I wasn't trying to, go to court and take the construction company, to court and get all kinds of massive dollars because they didn't have signs or nothing. I just want to be back where I was. Maybe that's just, that's the way I felt. All I needed was to be back where I was. So the insurance company paid my truck off. I bought another truck, this one I'm in now, which is a 07 W900. Nice looking truck. And, started back rolling again. Well, that's when I decided to get my own authority, because the dude that I was driving for started screwing me out of some money again. You know, just love it when you work for people and they start screwing you out of money. Well, I got my own authority, got all, you know, did it all myself, went online, figured out, again, YouTube, hell of a drug, figured out what all I need to do, and got all my stuff together, got my own authority. So, and I went to the people that I was pulling for, that we pulled solely for this other company. You know, this guy I was driving for, he was leased on to this other company out of Wichita. Excuse me. And so I went and talked to them. I said, hey, I'm getting my own authority. You know, here's what's going on. You know, would y'all bring me on? I don't want to lease on to you. I want to work with y'all as a carrier broker situation. They're like, yeah, we ain't no problem with that. Come on. So I kept staying there only under my own authority now, which has done pretty good, you know. But I feel like I'm more of a glorified company driver, okay? Because, you know, I don't see rate cons, okay? I get dispatched, which, don't get me wrong, the guy that dispatches me, hell of a dude. I mean, him and I get along great. He gives me good runs, you know. I didn't buy my own truck to not have my own authority. I didn't get my own authority to not run my own loads, okay? So, you know, I don't know what I'm getting paid till I get paid. And I can't really schedule anything. I mean, you know, if I tell him like, hey, I'm gonna need to run by the house, I need you to get me by there, give me a run going through there. All right, cool, we can work that. You know, but it's still, you know, if I want to go home for any length of time, which I never do, I just, you know, I go home for a day or two, if that. Usually I just, you know, drive through, and the wife restocks my refrigerator. Hell of a cook, by the way. Restocks my refrigerator, and I carry on. You know, if they ain't turning, you ain't earning. All right. But anyway, I decided to get my own trailer, and you know, at first I was going to stay with Bolt Pneumatic, but you know, if you know W9s, they're heavy trucks, and I don't, you know, I'm pushing 80,000 every load, and when you get to the job site, obviously you're running your motor to run the blower. So, you know, you're running the motor 900 RPMs or 1,000, whatever, and you know, just running your equipment to death, using it up. I don't want to do that. You know, now that it's all on me, on my dime, you know, that's not where I want to be. And I know that running freight, hold on, got a little short entranceway where people are coming on and people are getting off. Anyway, you know, the freight game, everybody and their dog can do it. All you gotta do is just get a truck, back up to a trailer, you know, tear down the road, bump a dock, sit there and wait. It's not like pneumatic where you gotta actually, you know, get out there, and not just anybody can bump or can hook to a pneumatic trailer, because you have to have a blower attached to your truck and stuff like that. So the market, you know, it's not swamped with trucks, but you know, I just don't think I'm making the money that I should be making. So I'm getting my own trailer, gonna jump out in the dry van market, pull my own loads, make my own destiny, as they say. I don't know how to turn out, but then again, I didn't know how to turn out with me getting my own truck or me getting my own authority. Okay, there's only two ways that things work. They either work or they don't. And if they don't, well, fuck it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, but that just is what it is. You know, you take a chance. I'd rather do something and fail than not do something and wonder if I would have succeeded. That's just me. Okay. Because to me, failure ain't nothing but just a learning step of what not to do next time. So, anyway, that's about it for now. I mean, I'm kind of tired of rambling, talking to myself, and hopefully, you know, y'all enjoy this. I'm going to try and start doing this more often, try and get a little better at it. I got to figure out the whole editing thing and, you know, microphones to hear better, whatever the case may be. Content, being able to think on the fly, because I don't talk to nobody. I damn sure don't talk to a phone, a screen. You know, I just drive down the road and do my thing. So, anyway, y'all be safe. Have fun. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. And if you ain't enjoying it, then why are you doing it? Anyway, peace out. Y'all be good. Talk to you later.